Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Did you miss me? Just a little, huh? Sorry about that. Like I said, I started down a rabbit hole, and this rabbit hole has many other arms, I guess is the best way to put it. And the stuff that I've been finding out is mind-blowing. Anyways, I will leave a link for the video that I posted on Pimpy's News Network. It is free to watch, so feel free to share it as much as possible. It'll be free until the 25th of this month. So you got a couple of days to check it out. I encourage you to do so because the news that's on there is really important for you guys to understand what's going on. As I started to do my research in one area, I found out that this thing is much way bigger than I had anticipated. I was saying that the World Economic Forum is a threat, and they are, but it's nothing compared to what you'll see. I remember talking to a friend of mine as we were in a chat with a group of people. He said, the man you're talking about is not the boogeyman you think he is, and you guys probably heard me talk about this in another video. And I said, maybe he's right, but to start digging into the things that this guy's involved in, it's, wow. It's unbelievable. You'll see what I'm talking about. Follow the link. Go watch the video. It's free to do so. Let's get back to Iraq, shall we? Before we get started, if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, or any other precious metals for that matter, head on over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. When you purchase over there at Money Metals Exchange, you will now be automatically entered into a chance to get free giveaways. This month, you'll be automatically registered to be one of 3 people who will receive 10 ounces. That's 10 silver eagles each. So head on over to Money Metals, make your purchase, and automatically enter to win. For those of you who are unaware, I do have my own webpage. I can be found at Pimpy's News Network. Over here, I do post videos that I can't post on YouTube without getting in trouble. I also have my own Facebook group called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. So come on over here and join us. It's free to do so. I can also be found over here on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, Odyssey, and now I'm on Rumble. For whatever reasons, my videos are not showing up on my channel yet, but I can be found just by going to the search button and typing in Pimpy's Investment Chat. And my videos will pop up for you to check out. If I get kicked off YouTube or I get suspended on YouTube, you can find me on any other one of these social media platforms. A quick congratulations to those of you who converted your money out of your IRAs and out of your 401ks and your nest eggs into gold and silver. Right now, you should be patting yourself on the back big time. It is a way to protect you, your family, and your loved ones from what's coming. Look, follow the link down below. Right now, any purchase that you make with Money Metals, whether you're a first-time buyer or a previous buyer, you're automatically entered into a competition in which you can win 10 free ounces of silver. And I say go for it. Anytime you can add to your stack is a good thing. Shout out to Sarah Huckabee Sanders over there in Arkansas. She has now the 43rd state to do away with the sales tax on gold, silver, and any other precious metals, and has now made it a legal tender. That's 43 states now that have done this. Going back to sound money. I hope these people here but get their crap together so right before the CBDC, which is being forced on us, in case you don't know, it looks like this July is when they're going to launch it. So be prepared. You need something outside of the system. Everybody keeps asking me, if we go to CBDC, what does this mean for our Iraqi Dinar? That's a good question. Because if they go to a CBDC, does that mean we exchange our dollars in for the CBDCs? I keep trying to find out from the Exchange of America, and they're not being very cooperative in what might happen. I also ask if that's the case, so they can convert our dinars into the CBDC for us, or how do we go about changing them if we have to? I don't want anything to do with the CBDCs. If anything, then my dollars definitely become collectibles. And I could probably get a lot more money for them than just swapping them for CBDCs. So I'm trying my darndest for you people to find out what we need to do for the Iraqi Dinar as well as the Vietnam Dong. All right, so Iraq falls in U.S. Treasury rankings of major foreign holders of the Treasury securities. Which is weird that this article says that, because there's another article in which these people want an investigation as to why it is the Iraqis buying security bonds. So very interesting. And they just found one place. It's a slight shift. It's not that big of a deal, but I think you're gonna see a lot more countries dumping the U.S. debt back on the U.S. as the future of the U.S. dollar is really unsure. I watched a guy do a video, and I'm not even kidding. I wasted like 47 minutes. This guy was going to explain how it is that there's no way in hell the U.S. dollar is going to lose its place as the world reserve currency. And then he went on to explain why. And all 47 minutes, the entire conversation was more about why people are dumping the dollar than why they're not going to. It was like the craziest thing I'd ever seen. My thought was that they didn't label the video correctly is what it is. All right, so they fall one whole spot, I think it is. The U.S. Treasury Department announced on Sunday that Iraq has slipped one rank amongst the largest foreign holders of U.S. Treasury securities. I don't know if you want to call them securities because they're not secure. The Treasury stated in its latest table said that Iraq slipped one rank after reducing its holdings of Treasury securities in February to reach the 30th position amongst the largest 38 countries holding U.S. Treasury securities worth more than $32 billion. Are they? Are they really worth $32 billion? And the reason why I ask is this. Dollar plunges 7.4% in the past 6 months. Here's what it means. Well, I can tell you this. Gold has increased 10.7% over the last year over the US dollar, and it's just going to keep on climbing. So a lot of you got into the gold and silver like I suggested early in the game. And right now you're jumping up and down celebrating because gold keeps teetering around the $2,000 mark, and silver is a beast, man. Doing really good, and I think it's going to continue to climb. I was expecting this to happen at the end of last year instead of now, but I'll take it whenever. As much as I like to see the values of the precious metals increase, still there's a part of me going, man, I just want to stack more and more. Don't go up too high. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there thinking the same thing. We're happy when it increases in value, but we're also excited because we're trying to buy as much precious metals as possible. And you should too. The US dollar has been in quick decline over the past several months. I'm trying to think if there's any YouTuber out there that said that this was going to happen. Yeah. One of several indicators raising fears that the economy could be headed for a recession. Could be heading for a recession? Really? Could be heading for a recession. Well, we're in a recession. What we need to wonder about is whether or not we're going to end up in a Great Depression. So the dollar has dropped 7.4%. Gold has increased over the dollar by 10.7%. And when I tell you that this is a staged event, that's not fabricating it. As I continue to make these videos and show you what I'm talking about, what the hell is going on, you'll see the bigger plan and who's all involved. The Treasury added that Iraq's holdings of these securities amounted to $40.7 billion in February, a decrease of 1.21 from January, when Iraq's holdings of U.S. Treasuries were $41.2 billion, and an increase of 68.88 from February. So they did increase their holdings, but they dropped down one ranking. I don't know if it's the whole end of the world because of this, but the Treasury noted that Iraq is the third largest Arab country in terms of holding U.S. Treasury securities after Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Meanwhile, Japan and China topped the list of countries with the largest holdings of these securities at $1.08 trillion and $898 billion. Look, if these people all start dumping these at the same time, it's over. And China has a plan, man. They've been trying to dethrone us for quite some time, but China's in trouble. I've been saying this for a long time. China spent way beyond their means. How it is that China has avoided crashing their entire economy is beyond me. Because they've been on the verge of bankruptcy now for like 3 years. So definitely something's going on that they're not telling us. I think what it is, they go, nobody knows. We'll just keep printing money and don't say anything about it and keep building our military up and up and up and invest in our military. Now that they own Biden and Biden is decreasing the spending on our military, every move that Biden makes, you guys pay attention, every move he makes. The SBV Bank, remember that? How it was crashing? But the Federal Reserve decided to jump in and save them. We thought it's because there was a lot of rich Silicon Valley people in there and politicians like Gavin Newsom. Well, that was a small reason why. Here's what you don't know. There's a handful of Chinese businesses that were in there. and they could have lost somewhere like $4.1 billion had the banks actually collapsed, but instead Biden bailed them out. Explain to me why Biden didn't focus on American companies first and foremost and tell foreigners to kiss our ass. That's because he's a Chinese puppet. That's why he's pushing these solar powers and wind turbines that China makes. Everything that Biden does benefits China and hurts us here in the United States. You guys need to pay close attention to that. And as I release these videos, you're going to see how much these two are in cahoots. It's a terrible situation. It's unfortunate that our government is allowed to place themselves in a position that they have to continue to destroy this country from the inside out. And all you could do is just bitch about it. I mean, there are other things you could do, but that doesn't seem to be the direction that people want to go into. So Parliamentary Finance reveals the deadline for approving the budget. So the deadline has now been pushed to the end of May. So not only do we still not have a budget processed for this year, it's going to be past 4 months going into 5 months before they even vote on it. I told you what happens is, first this committee gets the budget, they send it over to Parliament, Parliament gets it, they send back changes, the committee gets it, they address the changes, send it back to Parliament, and it goes back and forth until they get on the same page and then go ahead and vote in the budget. Iraq's economy could be so much stronger if they would just hurry up and get this damn budget approved. Now, mind you, this is for 3 years, and that's a good thing. So, come on, Iraq, hurry up and get this budget passed so that you guys can start benefiting and growing the economy even quicker. The economic transformation in the region towards abandoning the dollar currency. Notice how it says abandoning the dollar currency. Then you look at the first line on here. It says the Ukraine conflict has accelerated the global economic transformation in its adoption of the dollar currency. There's countries everywhere abandoning the dollar. So how is it that they're adopting this? Another thing too, you notice how they use the coronavirus as an excuse for everything, and now the Ukraine war as an excuse. This shit was happening long before the Ukraine war, long before the RONA. These economies around the world were already collapsing. We were looking at a huge worldwide economic crash. All those two things did was accelerate it. So to solely point the finger at the RONA as well as the Ukraine war as the reasons for everything is just bullshit. Especially by countries on which economic sanctions have been imposed by America and its alliance from European countries. And this means that the days of the dollar domination are in their recent days. I think it's supposed to be in their last days, not recent days. Yeah, our own Western alliances are abandoning the U.S. You have Macron, the idiot from France, telling his people that they can no longer rely on America to help them in the future. They are abandoning their relationship with the U.S. and are now partnering up with China. Yeah. When it comes to a war of any kind, always leave it to the French to surrender first. So it goes on to talk about the relationships that, the United States has with Saudi Arabia, China, everything else, and why it is that these people are abandoning the dollar. Although in here it looks like they're favoring the dollar, the way it's worded, it's wrong. Biden is purposely going out of his way to screw all of our relationships up with other countries, even our alliances that we have with other countries. And they accused Trump of this when Trump was strengthening everything. Remember, he had the Abraham Accords, was bringing peace to the Middle East. And then Obama's third term gets in there, goes back to doing what they do best, which is just screw over the American people. Outside the banking office, the decline in the dollar prices in Baghdad and Erbil. So we're talking about the exchange rate. So although the markets were not open today, you could tell that there were stores that do the exchanges. The dollar had decreased. And so you saw the Iraqi Dinar increase. So in one region, you get 1,440 dinars. In the other one, you get 1,430 dinars for every US dollar. But look, until the Iraqi Dinar is unpegged from the US dollar, it's still increasing in value, but not doing it at the pace it could be. So the decline in the US dollar actually affects the Iraqi Dinar as well. Economic firms call for the review of increased growth of Iraq's U.S. bond holdings. So there are a group of people, the Future Foundation for Economic Studies and Consulting, called on Sunday for the review and the reason why the Central Bank of Iraq is increasing the growth of its annual holding of American bonds in light of its decline in other countries that have the largest percentage of those bonds as a result of fear of losing its global value. What do you mean? Iraq dropped a whole one position down. Yeah, so anyways, look, Iraq has doubled since this time last year the amount of securities that it was holding, and these people want to know why. What do they know that the rest of the world doesn't know? That they would continue to increase their U.S. bond holdings, which doesn't make sense. My guess is that the United States has Iraq by the short fuzzies and is forcing them to do some stuff that they don't want to do just because they're holding all of their reserve currencies. As a matter of fact, the person in this article goes on to say that Iraq has way too much of its foreign reserve currencies in U.S. dollars and needs to diversify more before it gets caught in a situation it doesn't want to be in. Advisor to the Prime Minister, the parallel price of the dollar will come to the official very soon. Yeah, look, when it comes to the parallel rates, this is in almost every country. You're always going to have some kind of black market that's involved with currencies. The black market issue will stop once the Iraqi Dinar gets very close to or passes up the US dollar in value and the exchange rates are different. Then you're going to see things change around. Anyways, that's it for now. You guys let me know what you think. Like I said, I will leave the link down below. Go check out that video. I encourage you to do so. And let me know what you guys think. That's it for now, and I will catch you later. I am out.